All right. Welcome to the Juice's Dojo. So I'm here in front of this nice piece of a Latina from the Bronx. Came out really nice. Been here since 2017. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was staying on the mats. What do I mean by that? Well, we want to train. We want to train often. And you can only do that if you don't get hurt. And now there's a difference between getting hurt and getting an injury. All right, getting hurt means whatever. Someone did a knee on belly. Wow, that hurts. You get black and blued up here and there. People putting their knees on your arms or gripping. That's just hurt. There's a little bit of pain, goes away, no problem. But then there's injuries where you're going to have to be out for a lengthy period of time. And in some cases, in the most extreme cases, you're going to need surgery. Now, at my gym, I haven't witnessed anyone that needed surgery. I've seen plenty of people get hurt. I've been hurt myself. The worst that I was hurt was when I had got an impinged shoulder. I spoke about this way back when, but I was a white belt at the time. I was rolling with a female high blue belt, and it was ego that prevented me from tapping when I should have tapped. She had me in a full omoplata. This is when I first started. And I was trying to escape. Didn't even know how to escape. I'm just trying to rip it out of there. But she had me dead to rights. And I didn't tap. And it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. But I was like, my mentality at the time was, don't tap, don't tap, don't tap, don't tap, don't tap to this girl. Well, that was a mistake. Round ended. The shoulder felt a little wonky. But when I got home that evening and I went to take a shower, I couldn't even raise my arm. It's like, oh, wow. And the following morning when I woke up, I couldn't even move my arm at all. So I didn't want to go to the doctor right away. But that's how serious it was in my mind. So I did the whole YouTube thing, looking for shoulder injuries, this, that, and the other. I found a physical therapist on YouTube. I did a few of the exercises that they had recommended. Wall climbs is exercise where you put your knuckles to your forehead and do this kind of a movement. And yeah, it ended up being fine after about a week. So I was off the mats for like a week. But once again, that was something that shouldn't have happened. Now, if I'm caught in an omoplata or any other move that I feel is dangerous, I'm tapping. Because you cannot improve if you're not on the mat. So that's the message of today. Let's make smart decisions. Put the ego to the side and tap. I rolled with my instructor on Thursday, one of my instructors, and it was a nice flow roll. Nice flow roll. And all of a sudden, I just felt my leg going up and my knee, he had got me in a knee bar. And the knee was just getting tighter and tighter. And I was like, whoa. I'm not even going to play around. I'm tapping. Tap. No problem. It's a little easier tapping to a higher belt. I get it. But you have to do it. You got to tap when it's too hard. Now, on the flip side of the coin is, what kind of partner are you? Are you a dangerous partner? Are you ripping moves? Heel hooks, very dangerous. You got someone in a heel hook. If it's your training partner, he goes to your school, you're not in the tournament, this isn't the ADCCs, you do the move slowly, uncontrolled. Slowly, uncontrolled. And let them tap. If you got it right, they're going to tap. You don't have to just rip it. That's how you cause damage. And you see this a lot with the lower belts. And once again, I've only been doing jiu-jitsu for almost 3 years. I'm a blue belt. But you see this with white belts. They're very awkward. They don't know how to do certain things with throws. That's why in my school, they don't even want white belts doing heel hooks. You can do an ankle lock. Same thing with an ankle lock. You can hurt someone with an ankle lock. Are you going full bore backwards like that? No, come on. This have to be smart. Have to be smart. I remember once when I was a white belt, I did a stupid move on someone, and I was reprimanded by my coach, or not really reprimanded, but yeah, I had a talking to. I was a white belt, a bigger guy. We're doing a King of the Hill, and we had anyway. I took his back, and from his back, I took his arm and just threw myself back with his arm. Fortunately, he rolled with me, and I didn't hurt him. But yeah, if he did not roll, I'm pulling that shoulder right off. Pulling that shoulder right off. And yeah, my instructor, Dan, did speak to me. He was like, in front of everyone, too. He's like, listen, that's a dangerous move. We're not doing that. Let's take care of our training partners. That's the sign of a good, safe school. If you're at a gym and everyone's getting hurt all the time, you got to question whether it's a safe gym or not. What's the culture like in that particular gym? So, in my gym where I go to, Whetstone, that's in Cortland Manor, New York. For the most part, it's a safe gym. It's promoted. Safety is promoted. Taking care of your training partner is promoted, as it should be. But we do have some guys that compete. But we have older guys like me as well. We've got younger kids. They do MMA there. So, in these kind of combat sports, yeah, there's the potential for injury. But you can use your brain and be smart about things. And bluntly, don't be an asshole. Especially if someone's just going out there intentionally trying to hurt someone. Oh, they'll get kicked out of the gym. But then you got to think, come on now. How can you prove it? Well, if this person is hurting several people, there's a problem. There's a problem. So the name of the game is to stay on the mats. Take care of your training partner. If someone's getting too wild, hey, talk to them. Straight up, mid-row, yo, cool out. I've never really had to do that mid-row, never. I've just met the intensity which I'm given at times. But yeah, that is the name of the game. If you want to be in this long, tap, put the ego to the side. And also, when it's your turn, don't rip moves. Don't rip moves. Now, when you're in a tournament, that's a whole different ball game. But still, I don't think anyone intentionally should look to hurt someone. This is in the UFC now, which that's a whole different ball game. Yeah, you're gonna rip things. Also, if I'm in a situation on the street, oh yeah, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm ripping anything. I'm ripping heel hooks. If I'm on the ground like that, arm bars, yeah, I'm looking to take your arm off and put it in your ear. That's the way I'm going to have to do it. In the street, not in the training room. Anyway, I just want to keep that in mind, guys. Stay on the mats. That's the name of the game. Be smart, tap if you have to, and take care of your training partner. Now, I want to close with a little UFC. Last video I was talking about Steve Erceg against Jamaican sensation Ode Osborne. Well, Steve Erceg won that match. Flyweight, good for him. He even said that he felt like he saved his contract. And a good thing, because the UFC just signed a $7.7 billion deal with Paramount. We'll see how that's going to trickle down to the fighters. I'm thinking about doing a deep dive into that and seeing how that money's going to be dispersed. I hope these fighters don't get jerked at the end of the day. But it should be to their benefit. Moving on. This weekend, UFC 319, we got Dricus Duplessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. It's gonna be a banger. Looking forward to that. But on the main card, here we go, flyweights. On the main card, we got Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott, ranked number 11. He hasn't fought since 2023. That's a long time. He's still ranked number 11. And he's going against Kai Asakura, who's ranked number 15. But he just lost to Pantoja. That was his last loss to Pantoja. He got submitted. I think he needs. This was a good fight for him, a lucky fight for him. For him, first off, to automatically get a fight against Pantoja, but it was a learning experience for him. So I think you're gonna see a better Kai Asakura this time around. Also in the strawweight division, in the females, shout out to the females, we got Jessica Andrade versus Lupi Godinez. That's gonna be a banger.
Thanks for listening to The Drewster's Dojo. Never say die.